Hey, this is Renee, and today we are going to use our marbling paper that we've made and weave them to make some beautiful art pieces. There are so many ways that you could do this, so don't feel like you have to create your artwork just like I do. But this is a good starting point, so after this demonstration, you guys just have a great time making your own artwork. Hope you have fun. All right, pick two of your marbling designs. I'm picking some that I think would go really well together. And I'm thinking about putting them in this frame that I found. So I just want to make sure that this piece of artwork will fit in my frame. So just think about what you want your artwork to, how you want it to be presented, or just, practice for a while. But that's something to think about. And I am going to cut these into strips. They don't have to be perfect, but you want them to be similar in size and width. And I'm keeping mine in order because I'm just curious to see how my weaving will look with the pattern intact. So that would be fun to kind of do a couple of versions, some with the marbling intact and some without. So set that aside and go ahead and do that with your second color. Go ahead and grab also a piece of regular copy paper or any paper you have. So add a strip of glue along one edge. You're only going to glue one edge of each design. So glue that edge and you're going to line them up. Put a little bit of space in there so that you have room to work with them. Okay, so you're going to go over and under. This is a little bit tedious, but it's also relaxing once you get in the rhythm of it. So take your time. This video is it's way faster than what it took me, so don't get discouraged if it takes you a while. But you just want to go over and under and alternating each row so that your pattern is basically an alternating pattern. So this is kind of an intro to basket weaving or any kind of weaving. I mean, there are so many projects that involve weaving of nature, weaving of needles, like pine needles. So anyway, it'll be fun to see what you guys come up with. So I've got my basic design here. I'm just gonna trim the edges and then I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it in my frames. Because my frames are a little bit small, they're 4x6, I figured out I can just cut my design in half and then I've got it ready. So I've got to be careful now with loose pieces of paper because I have not glued the whole thing down. But I think it'll work fine. Pop them in your frame. Et voila. You've got it. And I just use that insert that comes with it as my background. That looks great. So I'm going to show you another way to weave that you might like better, just to have a little bit of more of an option. So I have a regular piece of copy paper, print paper, 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to fold it in half. Actually, I am going to have this be my final size. So I'm going to either tear this, which I like to do, or you could cut this in half. And now I'm going to fold it in half again. Actually, this is my size, so I am going to fold it here, tear this or cut this again. All right, that looks like a nice little size for my weaving design. What we're going to do is use this piece of paper as a guide, fold it all the way to the top, and we're going to use our scissors and cut not all the way up. Give yourself about a finger width up there, and just try to make your cutting edge a little bit straight. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Perfect art isn't the best art. The best art is organic. Okay, I'm going to do one more here. So now let's open it up. If you had a cutting knife and a mat, you could actually cut this. I just think since you have scissors in your kit and everyone has scissors, it's easier to do it that way. Okay, so now let's cut our strips. So we're going to cut strips in our paper, and I'm not going to keep mine in order this time. Okay, every other pull up. Now we're going to slide one of our pieces through. Look at that. And then push it up to the top. We can adjust our edges at the end. Okay, now you're going to alternate. Now you're going to pick the other pieces to pull up. So some of you might find this easier than our other technique, and some of you might find the other way easier. But I think if you work with, you know, not too large of a piece of paper, and then cut your strips so they're not too thin as you get going on this project, that'll make it easier. All right, you won't be able to push it all the way up because you've got these spaces where the paper crosses. That's what's going to give it some nice texture. Okay, now go back to your first every other. So you want that every other piece. Okay. You're weaving up and down and up and down. It's a very traditional way of using fabric, thread, so many options for weaving. Okay, now we'll go every other again. And you can just do one strand at a time if you want. Push it through. Pull the next one. Push it through. However is easier for you. Over, under, over. Okay. Keep pushing these up. So that's kind of nice. You can create this out of white paper, or you could create this design out of colored paper. I'm just going to see if I can scoot this up as close as I can. I like it. I like how my edges are kind of sticking out. So you can adjust these however you want. It's tricky because you don't want to mess up one, but you know what? We're not gluing these down, so you can keep working with them. So this one is nice. It's all kind of held together without any glue or any tape. And we could frame this also. Or you could just leave it like that and hang it like that. Okay, for this project, I thought it would be fun to do something fun on a little card. So I cut my little marbling piece that I wanted in strips and just laid them out like we did before. And I'm actually going to glue one of the edges like we did on the other video so that my pieces will stay intact. So I'm just going to glue along that one edge and put my pieces down. Not sure how I gotta get them in order, you know. There we go. Not all of them are going to be in order. I'm going to do some that aren't in order. Now, I could leave it like this, and I think that would make a very interesting card. But I'm going to go ahead and weave just because I'm curious to see how that will look on a small card. So let's just glue our edge again like we did before. And I might just go ahead and weave with the same design.